I'm going to do Savannah's makeup today to give you an introduction to the makeup community. Okay, so first we're going to start off with primer. And this just keeps the makeup on longer than it normally would stay. And this is silicone based, so it fills in any imperfections that are on the skin. And you always start with clean hands and clean skin. And then I'm going to spray her face with a rose water spray. That could focus. Whatever. But this will just help the skin stay moisturized, and it just feels very refreshing. And then I'm going to use an eye primer just to keep any eye makeup I put on her stay on there for longer. And I'm going to go in with this IT Cosmetics Redness Corrector. This is what I use every day. It just helps to cover anything, and it's all one skin tone. Right, and then you just put it on a stippling brush like this. Then you have a little bit of product on there like that, and then you just dot it on the face. And then once that is on, I'm going to go in with foundation, and this is MAC Match Master SPF 15.
That's a darker one, that's a lighter one.
Just kidding, we're going to use this L'Oreal True Match, very affordable from the drugstore. And then you just put a little bit on the back of your hand. And then I'm going to use a beauty blender, and this just helps to not put as much makeup on, but it gives a very flawless airbrush finish. So then you use it wet too. So you just dab it in there and dot it all over the skin. Alright, and then close your eyes. And then you're just going to want to take whatever foundation is left on the blender and run it over the eyelid to neutralize any redness. You always make sure you want to blend it into the hairline and blend it down the neck just to cover or blend it seamlessly into the rest of the skin. And then I'm going to grab a concealer. Is my color? No. Okay. And I'm going to put this under the eyes, and this will just help her to look more awake. This is called highlighting. And you're also going to want to put this on the higher points of the face, such as the bridge of the nose and the cheekbones. And I'm going to do a little bit on the forehead and the chin as well. And then I'm going to go in with a tissue just to remove any excess moisture from the skin and any excess product as well. And this is just to make sure everything is blended into the hairline. And then we're going to go in with a setting powder just to make sure it'll last longer. And then this is a powder brush, and this is the powder I'm using. Almost out. And you're going to want to pat this on the skin just so you don't move any of the product around. And this is a translucent powder, which means it has no color, so you can use it on everyone. Alright, and then I'm going to get a smaller brush just to get like under the eyes and around the nose and stuff. Right, look up. And setting the eyelid with powder is going to make sure that none of the eyeshadow that you put on will crease. And it also sets the primer. Alright, and then we're going to contour and highlight. So contouring, you're just going to take a darker powder. I'm just going to use a matte bronzer. And you're going to want to go in the hollows of the face, so like under the cheekbones, around the temples. And some people do the jawline. I don't do the jawline. And then you can also contour the nose to give it more definition. Wait a second. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush, just like this, to get even more into the cheekbones. And a darker bronzer as well. In a second. And then turn this way. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with a lighter bronzer and a thinner brush just to contour the nose. And the trick to having your makeup always look good is blend everything. Blend it like Beckham. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with some blush. And then I use this brush just so you don't put on too much. Alright, and then smile. And you're going to want to get this on the apples of the cheeks, just so you get a natural looking glow. It's cold outside, so you probably don't even need blush. And then we're going to go in with some highlighting powder. So this is just a light shimmery powder, and I'm going to use this fan brush to put it on Savannah. And you're going to want to put this on the cheekbones to bring them out, just like what we did with the highlighting concealer. This just adds a little extra pop. And then a little bit down the bridge of the nose, and then a little bit underneath the brow. Close. So we're done with the face, and now we're going to move on to the eyes. Alright, and since all we're doing today is going to a football game, I'm going to go a little bit more neutral on the eyes, not like a full like winged eyeliner or like smoky eye or anything. So I'm just going to start off with a neutral colored shadow. So I'm going to be using this one right here just to even out the color of the eye lid. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit darker of a shade. I'm going to be using this, oops, this light brown one right here just to define the crease. Close. And you could also use bronzer for this if you didn't want to go out and buy any new eyeshadow. And this is kind of like contouring for the eyes. And then I'm going to go in with an even smaller brush with an even darker color just to give it a little bit more definition. So I'm using this darker brown right here, and I'm using this type of brush. Close. And you always want to go darkest on the outer corner. It'll bring the eye more outwards and give it a more cat-like effect, because he doesn't want to look like a cat. Alright, and you're going to want to blend this out even more. Alright, and then I'm just going to take a neutral shimmery shade. This is in kind of like a taupe color. And just put this on the lid. I'm just going to use my fingertips. So for eyeshadow, you always want to start with the lightest shade in the inner corner and then work your way out. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with the same highlighting shade I used on her face and just put this in the inner tear duct. Alright, go. And then close. And this is highlighting the eyes as well. Just blend everything out one more time. I'm going to put some of the translucent powder on the brush just so it doesn't stick. And unless you want to do something fun like a pop of like blue or something, I normally just stick with the same colors I used on the eyes for the lower lash line. So I'm just going to use that dark brown I used in the crease and look up. Go in with a thicker angled brush just to blend it out in a lighter color. And then I'm not going to do any like harsh like winged liner today. I'm just going to use eyeshadow and an angled brush just to make it look more natural. Right, and then close. And I'm using brown eyeliner for the first part, and then I'm going to put a little bit of black closer to the lash. Alright, and then I'm going to go in with a thinner brush and a little bit of black eyeshadow. And make sure you tap it off just so it doesn't fall out under the eye, which looks like you have a black eye. Alright, and then I'm going to clean up the edges really quick, just with a little bit of more powder. Powder's your best friend, and a brush like this. And then give it one final blend. I'm going to have Savannah apply her own mascara, just because I'm not very good at that. But normally you'll just curl your eyelashes and apply mascara like normal. Alright, and then just since Savannah has thick eyebrows, I'm not going to fill them in. She's lucky. I have to fill mine in. But I just grabbed a Q-tip, and I'm just going to take off any makeup that got on her eyebrows. Alright, and then I'm just going to go in with a clear brow gel. You can just buy clear mascara. And then just to set the brow hairs in place. Alright, and now that that is done, I'm just going to set the whole face with a setting spray. So this is Urban Decay, and this will just keep your makeup lasting a lot longer. Alright, close your eyes. Okay, and then normally I would fill in the eyebrows and carve them out with a concealer. So carving out would be, you just take a brush like this, and then your concealer, and you're going to go, you would go under the brow bone, and then on top, and then same on the other one, just in case you made any mistakes filling it in, and that way it'll also bring up the brow bone and make your eyes look more open and awake, but she already has really nice eyebrows. And then for filling eyebrows in, I normally just use this brush, which is just a really super tiny angled brush, and then I'll use a product like this, just one that matches your hair. This is a pomade, and you just put it, I'll just show you. I just put mine right here in the arch, and you make sure that the arch is the darkest, and then you take whatever is left and you bring it forward. And then this is how I do my winged eyeliner, just in case you guys are wondering. And then if I was going to be doing her lips, I would just clean off any makeup that was on them, and then start with a lip primer, and that just makes sure that if you put any dark colors, it won't bleed on the rest of your face. And then you put on whatever lip color you want, and then finish it off with a gloss or a chapstick or anything. Alright, we are all done. Here's the finished look. Yay!